Takali chutney or tomato chutney is a crowd favorite. Goes excellent with South Indian tiffin varieties like idlis and dosas. Goes very well with pongal also. It's a great complement with even your dahi chawal, the tair sadam. So let's see how to make takali chutney in my way. Salt, haldi, turmeric powder, chilli powder, sambar powder, my soaked tamarind, 4 tomatoes, 1 small onion, about 6 cloves of garlic. In my pressure cooker, it's a pressure pan actually, I'm just adding about a tablespoon of sesame seed oil. For making this chutney, sesame seed oil works the best. So give it a try. If you're not comfortable or if you don't have it, you can use peanut oil. Now I've chopped the tomatoes. I'm just going to throw it in here. I'm not even waiting for the oil to heat up. Just throw it in here. On top of the tomatoes, I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of soaked tamarind. Just eyeball it. Let it just sit on top of the tomatoes. And now just close the lid and we'll take about 3 pressure whistles. By cooking it in the pressure cooker, I'm just reducing my cooking time so that I can be done quickly and out of the kitchen. But if you don't want to use pressure cooker, feel free to use a kadai and do the same process. You just have to saute it for a little longer. While the tomatoes are cooking, I'm going to quickly chop up the onions and the garlic. I took about 4 pressure whistles and it is settled now. The whistle is looser and I'm opening the pressure cooker. Now if you notice, the tomatoes are very well cooked and has released all its water. Now the fiber on top of the tamarind, I'm just going to remove that and put it aside. Now this tomatoes, I'm just going to mash it. I don't want to make a fine paste because I like the texture of tomatoes. So use your masher and just mash it like so. Just a rough mash. By cooking it in the pressure cooker, I'm eliminating a lot of time and it does the work much faster. And I don't have to babysit it. Just take a couple of pressure whistles and let it go. So just mash it like so. Now the skin in the tomatoes does not bother me. If it bothers you, you are welcome to remove it. But when you finish this chutney, it'll be all really good. So don't bother too much. Just mash it so, and this is good to go. Take a nice heavy bottom kadai, or if you want, you can even use your pressure cooker because they are pretty heavy at the bottom. In this, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of sesame seed oil. And I'll wait till it gets heated up and then give it a tadka. Tadka, I have mustard seeds, urad dal, a full teaspoon of methi seeds and about 4 red chilies. The oil is hot, I will add mustard seeds. As it pops, I will add the urad dal, followed by methi seeds and dry red chilies. Once all of that is sauteed, I will add the garlic first, saute it for at least few seconds, then add the onions. Once the onions are cooking, the trick to making this chutney is don't overcook the onions. It should have a little bit of a crunch to it. Now add salt. I'm adding about 2 teaspoons full of salt and a little bit of turmeric powder here. Just about 1/4 teaspoon. Mix it well. Once you add salt, it will really start cooking fast. So just saute it for less than a minute and then we will add the sambar powder. Remember, when we made sambar powder, we don't fully roast everything. We just heated it up to remove moisture. So when we roast the sambar powder in the oil, it will start releasing all the flavors and also start giving the chutney its thickness it requires. So once the onions are sauteed like so, I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of sambar powder. This is 2. This is 3. Now saute the sambar powder well with the onions and the oil, and this will become very aromatic and release all the flavors into the oil. Don't do it for too long, otherwise the masala will start burning. So just when it absorbs all the oil, add your tomato and tamarind mixture. So mix it well. Just rinse off this cooker with about 1/4 cup of water, and pour it in. And besides this, I will add half a cup of water. This is about half a cup. And now let this cook really well till you see the oil separating on the sides. The sambar powder has a lot of spices in it, so you don't have to add anything extra. And here I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon full of chili powder, because it is kara chutney, so a little extra. If you don't want to add chili powder, you don't have to, because sambar powder also has chili powder in it. So mix it well and cover and cook it till you see the oil releasing on the sides. I added another 1/4 cup of water because the sambar powder was making the chutney very thick. Now you want to keep it at a looser consistency before it starts boiling, because as it boils it will really thicken up. Here goes another 1/4 cup. So totally about 1 cup of water after I've added the tomato and tamarind paste. So let it be in this consistency, and now let it come to a nice rolling boil. I've been cooking the tomato chutney for about 5 minutes now. Just in between, I'm just going to remove the lid and mix it well. Just make sure you don't cook it on high heat. Keep it on medium and keep cooking. This is a great consistency for dosas and idlis. I'm just going to cook it for another 2 minutes, and then we'll adjust the seasoning. So it's been about 2 more minutes since I've cooked this chutney, and if you notice, it's already starting to ooze out some oil. I have 2 sprigs of curry leaf here. I'm just going to add it. Also add about 1 full tablespoon of jaggery. That will balance out any extra sourness or salt in this chutney. At this point, mix it well. Just let the jaggery melt. It will take about few seconds. Taste and adjust the salt if you require, or if you think it's very sour, you can add a little bit more of jaggery. Just tasted it, and I've added 1 more teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to add another 1.5 teaspoons of jaggery. Mix it really well and turn off the gas. In the heat, the jaggery will also melt. This is the final consistency you require for this chutney. It goes really well with idlis and dosas. And after this is the main step, which will make this chutney over the top. Take sesame seed oil and just pour about 3 to 4 tablespoons of sesame seed oil on top. Usually people tend to add it in the beginning and then start cooking, but the raw taste of sesame seed oil in this is really good. So you can notice that since the chutney is fully cooked, the oil will not get absorbed, it will stay on top. And this is your final stage. Make sure you check for salt, and if you still need to adjust, you can adjust. Give it a try and let me know how this turned out for you.